What up, gang of Lane Carolina Jackpot Time coming at you on Saturday morning. It's about 11 o'clock and it is going to be time soon for some college football. Trying to get everything ready for this Texas versus Michigan game. There's some other noon games coming on that I'm going to watch. And then at 3:30 p.m., the big one. South Carolina on the road at Kentucky. South Carolina sitting around an 8.5, 9-point favorite. The line's come down a little bit the past couple of days. It was up to 10.5 at one point. Now it seems like some money's starting to come in on the Gamecocks. So I think some people are starting to get a little bit of sense about themselves, at least the sharps out in Vegas who actually do this for a living, not just for fun. Final thoughts on this game. First of all, it's pretty nice weather here today. I mean, we're sitting about 75 degrees right now. We're going to have a high today of 84, so we're close to getting like right back into summertime weather, which it's not. It's still technically summertime until September 21st. But in Kentucky today, I noticed the high for that game is only going to be 71. So, quite a difference there just between, a few states. But, I mean, it's no wonder even Sunshine's avoiding that shithole today. Keys to this game, and we've already talked about this for South Carolina. There are so many things that were wrong in the Week 1 game against Old Dominion. I don't know that you are going to be able to fix all of them in practice this week. Or, practice the week is over with, so that's past tense. Have you been able to fix all of them? No, you're not. I think either you work on improving all of them a little bit, or you pick a few things that you need to improve on greatly and do that. I don't know what the strategy is that Shane Beamer and company employed, but I'm sure it's a great one because they're wonderful head coaches. Here's the thing. Shane Beamer's a freaking terrible head coach. And I told everybody this when he got hired. I hate to say I told you so. I really shouldn't tout that. Just forget it. Just forget it. I've tried to support him. I really have. I really, really have. I've tried to support that staff. But the lack of preparedness that they had going into the game against Old Dominion lets me know they didn't prepare properly in the summer. They didn't prepare properly last year. They didn't prepare for Georgia State properly in 2022. This is a growing trend of not being ready. Not being ready for the task at hand. And then people can at least say, you always try to, well, I don't always try to, but it helps sometimes if you try to find something positive in amongst all the negative. But the positive I can find here is that I think Will Muschamp's team probably would have lost that game on Saturday to Old Dominion. And they at least find a way to gut these wins out. I think several years ago we almost lost to Vanderbilt. I think Will Muschamp's team would have found a way to lose to Vanderbilt. At least they're able to pull their bootstraps up at the last minute and seal the deal. Although maybe not looking good doing it, but they are at least able to do that. I can at least credit them for that. What I can't credit you for is not being prepared against a lesser opponent. That's maddening. In-game adjustments are horrible. That's maddening. The excuses that you make are horrible. That's maddening. This is a growing trend. I think that today is kind of the Shane Beamer, Dowell Loggins. I think this is the point where, I don't know, I guess you try to kind of call this their Waterloo, in that they go out today and have a good performance and strike the upset in this game. Or let's just face facts. If they have a good performance and they lose by 4 in a back and forth game, it's not acceptable, but it can take a little bit of heat off of you. Or you could go out there and get behind early, or you could keep this game close for 2.5 quarters and then your abysmal offense, which is keeping your defense on the field the entire game, finally causes the defense's dam to break, and they give up 28 points when they really are a lot better than that. One of those two things is going to happen, and I think the Waterloo could buy Shane Beamer and crew some time, but you go out there and you drop a stinking turd burger again today, the writing is going to be on the wall. The pitchforks are down off the wall in the barn. They're going to come out if you get embarrassed today. If you lose in respectable fashion, maybe they stay up. To me, I'm not going to be happy with that either, because there's always something you could have done to win. But the fan base is really, really, really going to start turning on you. And I hate this. I hate being a member, because everybody says it's a toxic fan base. It's a toxic fan base. No, it's not. They just want to win. They're just like me. They want to win. Then please tell me where there's something wrong with that. Please let me know, because I'd love to know what's wrong with just wanting to win. That's it. And those that are preventing us from winning are going to get the brunt of the blame. I mean, that's just life. You prevent something, or you're preventing something, you're holding something up, you're the cog in the wheel that's bent and is not allowing that wheel to rotate properly, you're gonna get it. So, with all that being said, I really wish South Carolina had another get-right game before they played this one. I wish that there was a get-right game against Akron or a get-right game against Wofford. I wish the schedule was a little bit different, but unfortunately, it's just simply not. And we have to go out there and play the game that's on the schedule. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to come out there? Are you going to show some moxie? Are you going to show some guts? Or are you going to go out there and get blown out? Personally, I believe I hold Shane Beamer responsible, and I hold Dowell Loggins responsible for wasting a scholarship on Nick Harbor. They've wasted a scholarship on this guy. And Rob Sanders, my podcast partner, who's usually full of shit, and just says some dumb things, actually made a lot of sense yesterday, in that he said, Nick, it's a waste of a scholarship. He's had 12 receptions. Now, he's had some drops, yes, but he hasn't had nearly enough targets. And my thing is, there has been no kind of imagination, ingenuity, creativeness, whatever you want to call it, put into the playbook to get him involved. And Beamer, whenever he's asked about it, he just says, oh, well, we're trying to get some plays designed up for him, but when you've got a deep wide receiver, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. None of your other wide receivers were labeled a cheat code on the NCAA 25 game, and a child's toy, yeah, I know, a child's toy is not a barometer for going out there and actually executing on a real football field. But obviously, somebody has some respect for his ability. You need to make people respect his ability. Right now, they're looking at him standing on the sideline with his finger up his butt. It makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Only we could sit there and just waste a 5-star. Okay, maybe he's not the best wide receiver right now. Maybe his hands aren't the best. You have to kind of be able to sort of catch the ball to be a wide receiver. Use him in something else. Use him in something else. Use him in some end arounds. Some jet sweeps, which I was told I was an idiot for suggesting that we get some kind of jet sweep package designed to take advantage of his fucking speed, because he can get hit at the knees because he's tall. What the hell? Anybody can get hit in the knees and the knees taken out in a football game. You see that happen every week. You see it happen to 5'10" receivers. You've seen it happen to 6'5" receivers. So, that's silly to me. that anybody would say that. You've got a fast guy. Get him on the field. The field's not just 100 yards long. The field is wide this way. What is it? How many yards is it wide? I don't know. 50 yards wide? Ain't that long. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You've got a lot of green grass over here on either side of the hash marks. You don't have to try to keep the ball in between the hash marks all the time. You're not going to win that way. You need to get some of these Kentucky players out in space today and see what they can do. If he can put the Jets on, that'd be nice. I'd really love to see it, because I sorely want something to cheer about this afternoon. I really, really do. And there are a lot of fans who do as well. You know, Old Dominion coach Ricky Ronnie had something to say in his press conference after that game on Saturday, that he heard the booing from the South Carolina people, and that he really hoped that they weren't booing these student athletes who were out there giving their all and trying to win a football game, and that he felt he had a pretty dang good team and they were putting up a good fight against a really good team. So I don't know if Ricky Ronnie's comments were coming from a place more of he took a little bit of offense to the fans booing because the effort wasn't there, and that we had a tight game against his team and he felt like his team was good enough to where another team's fan base shouldn't be booing for their team looking poorly against his, or if he was just defending our student athletes in general and took offense to fans who don't show them the appreciation that I guess they deserve for the effort that they're putting forth. But instead, they choose to boo and mock them because they're not happy with their performance. I kind of think it's the latter. And to all that, I say, Ricky, shut up. You haven't been a fan down here for X number of years. Me, I've been a fan for over 40 years. I went to my first game in 1980. I've told a lot of people that here on this channel. We are sick of it. We are all sick of it, dude. We're sick of it. And today is different, right? It's not 1985 anymore. People show their frustrations on social media. People are not afraid to voice their opinions anymore. People aren't afraid of getting censored anymore. People are going to boo at sporting events if the team that they're pulling for is shit in the bed. And it is what it is. So, you can go piss up a rope. Nobody cares what you think. And hell, if I was there, I'd probably be booing them too. I would have probably been joining in on them, because the booing was probably even not so much directed at the student athletes. If you want to get down to the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty of it, the booing was directed at the coaching staff. Now they are as inept can be. So South Carolina's going to need a miracle today to pull off a road win against a pretty decent team. Now, you don't need a bunch of superstars. You don't even need a superstar coach to beat Kentucky. And they're not that good. But it's a tough road environment to play in. It's an SEC road game. All SEC road games are tough. So, if they don't come with their head on a swivel, their big boy britches on, and a nice practiced playbook in their back pocket, then we're going to get beat. And we won't even cover the spread. My final prediction is I think the Gamecocks I think they're going to cover the number here, but I don't think they're going to win. So, just take that for what it's worth. That makes me a bad fan. It makes me a bad fan. And I've talked a lot of trash this week, and I got a lot of people upset with my trash talking, about the state of Kentucky and how poor it is and how awful and depressing it is of a place. All of those things are true, too, by the way. And I upset somebody when I insulted Matt Jones and his having to go to the nervous hospital on the Wrestler show. Okay, well, I'm sorry that I offended you with that. I was just trying to be funny. It's just football trash talk, dude. Don't take it so serious. Anyway, Kentucky wins the game today. South Carolina does find a way to cover the spread, maybe even a backdoor cover. I'm not sure. But regardless of all of that, and I appreciate you taking 15 minutes to watch this video before college football is about to start. You guys don't have to do that. You can watch a million other channels, and I appreciate you choosing to view my video. We'll be live streaming it today at 3:30. By God, wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I wouldn't have missed loving you, girl. Anyway, I'll see you guys later on. I appreciate it. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks, by God. Let's shock the world, biatches.